Hi, Javad is here. In this video, we are going to learn animations in Enscape. Animations are a great way to present our work in much better way to our clients, to our co-workers. And in Enscape, you are able to create animations and walkthroughs very easily, and especially in their new video editor update that they added in the new version of Enscape. It was in Enscape 3, I think. It is much easier in comparison with the previous one, and it is more intuitive to work. To do that, you just need to go to the Enscape, and in here, for example, you can click on here, or you have the shortcut V to bring the video editor here. For example, let me bring it in here. This is the video editor that you have. We have keyframes in animations and walkthroughs to be able to create the paths for our camera and for our animation. And as for any animation, at least you need 2 keyframes to create the animation. You can see we have 2 plus sign in here. Both of them do the same and they create a keyframe for us. For example, let's go a little bit down. And here, for example, I'm going to create a, or let me put it on something like a walk, and let me put it on perspective. On perspective, okay, that's great. Or maybe 2-point perspective. It is a kind of preference. You can work with anything you want. Okay, but let's put it on 2-point perspective for now. And in here, let's create a keyframe. When you create a keyframe, you will see this shape in your timeline, but you don't have any play option here because, as I said, you need to at least 2 keyframes to create the camera. For example, let's move a little bit forward, something like here. And then also you have the grid lines. It will help you in composition. For example, this is a good spot. Let's create another keyframe. As soon as you create 2 keyframes, you will have the play option. Let's play the animation that we've created right now. It takes a little bit and depends on your project and it depends on your need, but as you can see, we can see the preview in here, and this is the simplest animation that you can create, and you can add too many keyframes that you want. For example, let's look up or something like that. Let's create another keyframe and let's go a little bit forward. Let's create another keyframe. As you can see, we have the keyframes here, but the distance between them are not equal. It can be intentional and sometimes it is good, but it is better to control them by yourself. We will discuss about it later in this video. And let's create another keyframe in here. Okay, we've created all of the keyframe. Let me show you one thing. In here, let's click on the first keyframe. When you click on any keyframe that you've created, you can go and change the settings and update it. For example, for the second one or for the third one, I want to change the, for example, I want to change the angle of camera to this, and then you just need to click on update to update your keyframe, and your keyframe will be updated. And another thing, for example, when you go on a keyframe, in here you will have a exit option. Click on exit, and now you can go around freely. As you can see, we have all of the keyframes. Each orange camera or instance of each keyframe. As you can see, the distance between, and also you will see the path, and you can change the path. For example, in here, sometimes it may some paths will go to the walls or to the floors. For example, you go there and click on it, and then, for example, you can give it a little bit height and click on. Okay, that's great. Click on update, and then press escape on your keyboard, and now you can see the difference between these 2 paths right now. So you have full control on any pass. And another tip in here, for example, you want a keyframe, for example, in here, you don't need to go in timeline to create it. You just need to click on the pass. For example, when I click on here, it will create another keyframe in here. Let's press escape another time. As you can see, we have another keyframe here. And another good thing about these passes are that you can save them. For example, I love this pass and I want to use it in my project, but I want to make another pass in the interior part. But the thing is that we can't have multiple passes at the same time. So we need to go in here and click on this, and you need to save pass to a file. For example, let me save it on desktop and let me name it, for example, exterior. Click on save, and in here click in this menu again and click on new video pass, and we want to delete them. And now it is completely free again, and you can see we can create an animation, for example, for our interior part. Let me put my preset on default because that was the preset for exterior part. Now it is better. It's a night scene for this part. Okay, in here I'm going to create a keyframe, and let's move to right. For example, in here, let's create another keyframe. And then, for example, when I press play, let's go to the first one. Let's press play. Sometimes the distance between them are good, but sometimes, for example, I want a smoother move between these two because the shot that I'm looking for is much smoother. To do that, you just need to press escape on your keyboard, and in here you have the total duration. For example, let me put it on something like, for example, 16 seconds, and let's play again. And now we will have much smoother video in comparison with the first one. As you can see, the movement speed has changed. This is the total duration of your video. But for example, let's create another keyframe in here. Let's bring it something like in here maybe. Let's press escape and let's see the pass. As you can see, we have the pass with 3 keyframes. Maybe you don't want this keyframe to be the exact in the middle. To change this keyframe setting, you just need to go to the keyframe, and in here you can check the timestamp, and then you can change the time of it. For example, it is in 8 seconds, but now I can put it on, for example, in 4 second timestamp, and click on update. And now it is much more different. Let's go to the press escape. Okay, let's press escape and let's change the total duration to 16 seconds. Okay, that's great. And let's play right now and see the results. Let's go to the first one and let's play. For example, the speed between the first one and the second one will be faster in comparison with the third one. So with the timestamp, you can do this process very easily. Let's talk about 2 other parameters that we have in here. We have is in out. When you check this parameter, it will smooth the first 3 or 4 seconds and the last 3 or 4 seconds, and it will give a much smoother experience to you, but it depends on your preference and your need. For example, let's see the result with is in out, and let's see the result without it. As you can see, there is a little bit smooth stabilization in the first seconds. Let's put it on maybe a little bit shorter animation, and let's check it with is in out unchecked, and let's see the results again. As you can see, at first second there was no smooth process and it was too fast. It is a little bit hard to understand, but it will affect properly. You just need to be careful about it. We have another parameter in here, which is shaky camera. It gives a little bit of handheld camera feel to the scene, but I don't recommend using it in normal animations. But if you want to create, for example, a walk experience, for example, in here, let's create a new pass. In here, I've put it on walk. Let's create a keyframe in here. Let's go up from the stairs. Let's create another keyframe. And let's go up. And let's create another keyframe. And that's great. And let's check the shaky camera. And let's uncheck this one. Okay, as you see in here, when people are walking, it's not really stabilized. But when you check this parameter, it will give more realism in your animation. Let's play it and see the results. If this video has been helpful for you so far, please don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends and colleagues. And also you can get access to all of our premium files and premium tutorials in our Patreon page, and you can go to our merch store too. Okay, let's go back to the tutorial. Let's see it again. It will give a little bit shaky effect, a little bit in here. It will give a little bit shaky effect to your animation, and as I said, it depends on your preference and your need. But if you want more stabilized image, it will be great. You need to put it on unchecked. The last thing that we are going to check is keyframing in other parameters. For example, we can have keyframing in too many other parameters. For example, let's create a new pass, and let's create a keyframe in here, and let's create a keyframe in here. Okay, that's great. Let's select the first one. As you can see, we can keyframe our time of the day, our focal point, and our field of view. Let's change the time of the day. Check this one, and for example, let's put it on 9:33 p.m. And for the second one, let's check it and let's put it on something like in 9 a.m. Okay, that's great. And let's go back to the first one and let's click on play and let's see the result. As you can see, when it is changing the keyframe, the time of the day will change too. This is the first parameter. The second parameter is focal point. To be able to use this one, you need to go to the, for example, let's create a close-up shot in here. For example, in here, let's go to the visual setting, and in here, change your depth of field to some number that you like, for example, something like this, and uncheck the autofocus, and don't change it right now. We are going to change it in keyframe. For example, let's create a new pass. Okay, that's great. For example, we want to get something like this. In here, this is a little bit fast in movement. That's great. And let's create a frame in here. And let's create another frame in here. Both of them are in the same place. But for the first one, let's check the focal point. And for the first one, let's put the focal point on the flower that we are seeing in here. Something like this. And for the second one, let's check this and let's put it on the bar. Okay, that's great. Press escape and let's put the total duration on, for example, 6 seconds, and let's play the video. As you can see, with this effect, you can get these kinds of shot, and then, for example, you can edit it in other 3D, other video editor softwares like Premiere, Camtasia, Final Cut, and you can get too many great animation with this effect. The last effect that you can keyframe it is the field of view. For example, let's check it on this car in here, something like maybe let's put it on, let's change it in here, for example. If you have this, let's create a new pass, and let's create 2 frames at the same time, at the same place. Okay, that's good. Let's put the total duration on something like 8 seconds. And let's select the first one, and let's check the field of view. It is a normal field of view. And for the second one, for example, we want to zoom. For the second one, let's check this one, and let's put it, for example, something smaller. And let's put a little bit something like this. And that's great. Okay, let's play and see the results. You can see we can get a zoom in effect with our animation. As you can see, it will give a nice view to your animation. Okay, at the end, for example, you want to let's bring our first pass that we saved. You just need to go here, and from here click on load pass and delete all of them, and bring the pass you've saved. We have it in here. Okay, that's great. And let's change our setting to the starting view preset that I've created for myself. And right now we have the pass, and then we are going to create an export from. To do that, click on export, and now you can select the resolution you want. For example, you can select 4K Full HD, and let's put it on Full HD, and then compression quality maximum is the greatest one, and then frame per second. It depends on the when your frame per second or FPS is higher, you will get more smoother video, but it takes a little bit longer to render. So it needs to be balanced, but I really prefer 60 frames for my client's video. So let's put it on 60 frame, and let's create export from this one. Let's save it on our desktop, and let's see the results. This is the result that we got in a few minutes, and you can see when you do it properly, it will give you a nice result. We didn't spend so much time on it, but if you would put more time in it, you will get much better process. And I will put another clip in here that, as you can see, with a fade transition in Premiere, I've created a switch off and switch on of the lights effect in this scene. So with a little bit editing and different shots and editing it in videos of editing tools, you will get much better results. I hope this video was helpful for you. If it was, please don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends and colleagues. It will help us a lot to create more videos like this. And I will put a playlist in here that you can go there and watch more Enscape tips there. We have dozens of Enscape tips video, so don't miss it. I will see you on the next session.